Hi, I'm Dr. Sean Richardson from Energy Health Inc. And today I want to talk to you about the relationship between health and performance. Something that's probably not new, but would like to bring some nuanced ways of thinking about it and challenge our current thinking about this relationship. If you've watched any of our other videos, you know that we're here to talk about how getting your energy right, balancing stress and recovery in your life, making sure your energy health is right in the right spot is key to being a high performer as an individual and certainly in driving high performance businesses and high performance in all areas of your life. So this is a conversation that we have a lot with our clients around how do you build a high performance team, a high performance organization. And there's a lot of focus on having the right strategy, the right mindsets, but we know how important it is to build high performance off a foundation of mental and physical health and well-being. Now that might seem really obvious, but let's look a little more closely at how we typically treat this stuff. So here I have, every organization I've ever talked to, and it'd be kind of crazy if they didn't talk about this, every organization I've talked to or worked with have always said, we strive to be a high-performing organization. We want to deliver results, and this is our real focus, a high-performance culture, high-performing organization, and they might hire me to come in and say, how do we build a high-performing team? And when I ask them about things like health and well-being, physical and mental health, the reaction might be, yeah, that's really important to us as well. So we really drive high performance, and they keep emphasizing that. Oh yeah, of course we care about our staff and their health and well-being. That's really important to us as well. So there's two things. There's high performance and physical and mental health, and those are important. But there's something flawed in even the way we language that, isn't there? High performance and physical and mental health. But the way that we talk about, the way we treat this, is we treat them as separate entities. It's this and that. And most of the focus goes here, which is why we get the big circle, the big bucket. We treat this as a smaller bucket, a smaller circle. And we tend to only be concerned about this when this intersects with this. So it's like if someone on the team or if a group, one of the project teams is struggling and they're really worn out or stressed or burnt out, and we notice it's having an impact on the whole business. So when this crosses over and is really obvious that the physical mental health of either an individual or a group of people is having an impact on our performance, then this becomes a highlight. And if it's an individual, we might talk to them about getting them more support, making sure they're in touch with our EAP, our organization. What are we doing to support that individual? And organizations might do things like making sure that we really show people our support for physical mental health and mental health, things like being a big supporter of Are You OK Day or Movember or any other number of initiatives that are important around workplace health of staff. So we're not saying we don't care about this, but we tend to put them in these separate buckets. So that's the first thing, we separate them. But the second thing that we do is that we've actually, because we're so driven for high performance, we put it in a big bucket. But the reality is that's not the right size bucket, is it? I mean, the last time I checked, most organizations are still hiring human beings. And so if you don't have physical health and well-being, physical and mental health, this can't even exist. This is actually the smaller bucket. This is the big bucket. But it's not just the size of the buckets, it's the connections, the relationship. And what there is to get is you can't have high performance that's not built on a physical and mental health foundation. If we don't have a solid physical mental health foundation for every person in our team, we're not achieving high performance at a level we could achieve it at. Now, I work with a lot of professional sports teams and Olympic athletes. That's much more obvious in the physical realm. So if someone's fatigued, if they're injured, if they're struggling mentally, anything like that, it immediately affects their performance, and we can see the direct relationship. But these aren't two separate buckets. In fact, they're 100% connected. You cannot have this. This is an outcome of building off this foundation. And if you're an organization that has gotten results, and you haven't seen this relationship, this continuum, that this occurs as a result of first establishing this strongly and driving and sustaining this ongoing, if you've achieved results, there's a bit of a provocation here, is that you chances are you may have got some results, but you haven't been high performing, or you certainly haven't been as high performing as you could be, which is also an opportunity, and it's kind of exciting because you could be so much better if you got this in an optimum place. And sometimes when it comes to high performance, it's getting that there's an order to things here. And I like to use the analogy as a sport and performance psychologist. I get people coming to me asking me all the time for what are the mindsets? How can I be masterful at really tweaking and getting the best out of myself in a high performance realm? But I always like to ask, have you really taken care of your foundations first? Because what it's a bit like is getting someone who's a marathon runner coming to me and saying, look, I'm finding my training isn't going so well right now. I need some mindsets. Come on, Sean, you've got the ideas, you've got the mastery mindsets. You work with some of the best in the world at what they do. What are some of the mindsets that are going to help me with my training? I've got the marathon coming up in 4 months' time, but I'm going out and running, and I'm supposed to be doing anywhere from 10 to 15 to 18 kilometer runs, and I'm getting about 500 meters into them, and my body's just stopping, and I'm unmotivated. I don't know what's wrong. I got to switch my mindset. Can you give me something? And I said, yeah, we could work on that stuff. I got some mindsets that we can work on. We'll talk a little about what are your unhelpful mindsets. But let me quickly check in over here first. So, if how's the body, how's the mind in terms of just health, physical, mental health, that kind of thing? What's going on there? Before we talk about the mastery mindsets. And that person says, well, I've been to the doctor and I've got stress fractures in my foot, so I got a broken foot. But don't worry about that. I've got to get my motivation going. I got to get my mindset in the right place. And I just said, hey, hang on, look, you can't train right now. You just got to take care of that broken foot first. No, just give me the mindsets. I'll be sweet. Just push through. Think about how ridiculous that sounds in the context of physical output. But we're sort of treating ourselves, when we just push through to hit our targets, to get our results, and we don't have our physical and mental health and well-being in a great place, it's almost as crazy as that marathoner trying to run on a broken foot. We can't be at our best performance unless we are at our best in terms of physical and mental health. It seems so obvious, but the challenge is, how are you treating it in your life, individually, for your teams and your organizations? Are you putting them in separate buckets, seeing this as the big bucket, or are you really getting the strong relationship here that this is a continuum? High performance is the outcome. Excellence at this level is the outcome of excellence of physical and mental health. Now, how do you get excellence in physical and mental health? It's all about managing your energy, making sure that there's a great balance between the stressors, the thing that put demand in your body, and the recovery that you put back in. And that's what we teach people to do, the whole system and the science of balancing stress and recovery at Energy Health Inc. So if you're interested and you want to know more, reach out, send me a message, reach out to us, look us up on energyhealthinc.com, and we'll talk to you soon. Really look forward to it. Thanks for listening. Dr. Sean Richardson, Energy Health Inc. See you later.